Yeah, it would be nice to meet him. It really would. We've gone back and forth many times on the phone and via text message, and obviously many times here on the air. So, and that's awesome. Steve's letting him use his remote. So he's been on the air basically his entire trip.
Yep. So you're probably, what would you say, midpoint, roughly, between where he was in Virginia and New York, where he's headed?
To be honest, Tim, I don't know. Let me look real quick. I got to pull it up in my map here. Hurley, New York. Where's that at? Okay, that's I would say, yeah, maybe about halfway. This might be where he's going to be in Pennsylvania is probably maybe a little bit before halfway.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, I've known Bob for many, many, many years. Finest kind. So he was in the kind of HVAC thing, mostly oil burner service and refrigeration systems. So he evacuated my heat pump after I installed it with a little bit with the help of Frank, WA1HLR. So it was a two-person job to mount the indoor heat exchangers, I'll call it. But got it done, and he's helped me out a couple of times with parts for my trailer furnace. Well, yeah. So, we're just, happy that spring is slowly moving into view here, as most of us, after a while, begin to suffer from cabin fever burnout.
Yeah, I believe there's a station on sideband, KC4 something, BVX maybe. I'm on AM here. We are on AM. Me and myself and Timmy. WA1HLR. So if you want to switch over to AM, old man, and I'll see if I can pull you in. W3MMR.
W3NMR, KG4BVX.
KG4BVX, I got it right?
We're fixing to start up a net on 3873 on sideband, and you fellas are just blowing us away. We're all barefoot over here, so we can't even touch y'all's signal. Y'all covering us up.
Well, unfortunately, things are real tight, and a lot of us in the New England area operate AM on or about 3873. It's been going on that way, and we're going to be on here for a little while longer, and then when we hang it up, then it's yours. But I hate to say it, but I don't have much patience with nets that feel that because they meet at a certain time that the frequency should be relinquished. And the thing is things are kind of tight, and moving around at this time of night is problematic. So sorry for the inconvenience, but that's life.
Okay, fellas. Y'all have a good evening. We'll pray for y'all. KG4.
All right, man. Well, take care. Yeah, it is kind of busy on here this evening. That's weird. I've never heard a net on 3873 besides the Texas traffic net that usually blows through anyway. And it is the Texas traffic net. What am I talking about? That's probably what it is. So, I mean, they get in there every single, night regardless that they're on. So, maybe that's it. But anyway, back to what I was saying, Tim. Well, that was nice of him coming over and helping you evacuate the heat pump. Yeah, Bob's about as nice as they come, Obviously, it was a real shame what he had to go through there for quite a while with Melanie, but he definitely seems to be coming around, so it's really great to see. Seems very in the very good mood, most times very very positive, very content, and it's good to see. So I'm looking forward to spring too. It's been nice down here. We've been it was 64 today. Yesterday was in the 50s. Tomorrow it's supposed to be almost near 70, but it's supposed to rain. So, but as I was saying earlier, man, you guys have really got a lot of snow up there. I think this year I think I saw maybe 6 to 8 feet of total snow. Does that sound about right for Scowtown?
Well, what? I think it was within this past month, just about, one of the Bangor TV stations had a list of snowfalls, what's considered to be average, and whatnot. And we're a bit above the average, and yet it was a fairly mild winter. There were a couple of, there was that incredible cold snap that came through. That was kind of scary. And we've had amounts of snow here and there, but then, there's a few times earlier, like in December, it would warm up and start pissing rain and kind of melt it down, and then there'd be more, and then they would kiss rain and melt it down. So probably the total snowfall of every little thing, whether or not it sticks around or gets douched out, adds up. So that's where I think the stats come from.
Right. Oh man, you guys are going at it down there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think that you guys had walking on top of 8 feet of snow, And I remember that cold. Like Mount Washington was over 100 degrees below zero. Wind chills up there, and I remember it was well below zero at your place. That was a weird. Well, I wouldn't say a weird cold front, but we missed the brunt of it. It was just north of us. Because I remember looking it got down into the low teens, maybe 8 or 9 degrees at the coldest. But you could see on the weather map, Tim, like the sharp cutoff up in North Jersey, up by Mike K3FEF, about 60 to 100 miles north of here. Where it was well below zero, and so we missed the we were right on the edge of it. We got pretty fortunate, but I know a lot of guys up there are having problems keeping the houses warm, and you know, failures and stuff. Didn't you have some sort of failure, W3 MMR?
Well, I did lose the water, but, you know, the night it got down to like almost 20 below zero and the wind howling. Usually, you'll have, if you have extreme cold, you don't have any wind. I mean, it's perfectly still out there. But having the extreme cold and the wind on top of it, oh my God. So, I got up, I think it was Saturday morning, because that's when things happened, when it got very, very cold. And, I made sure that my heat tapes were working, and then running the oil furnace a little bit more and whatnot, because the heating ductwork is a bit leaky and leaks out underneath, and in some respects, I would say the length of the trailer has got insulation bats of fiberglass all inside of plastic contractor bags all around a good part of this place. So that helps, but there's a whole lot more that needs to be done. So I got up in the morning, it crashed around 3 o'clock, got up, or maybe I just checked it at 3, and I turned on the water in the kitchen, which is right where the pressure tank is and all that, and nothing came out. It's like, oh, shit. So I looked at the pressure gauge on the pressure tank, and it was up to 50 pounds. I said, well, shit, that's the upper limit set point, meaning that it just didn't load it up. And it's like, well, then why is it between there and the extremely short distance to the kitchen sink faucet that there is no water? Because obviously it's cold enough. Even though things are super insulated, there was just so much stuff in the under the sink shelving that even though my wife left the doors open, it was still pretty much a wall. So I shut the breaker off to the pump, because God forbid if the water line between the pump and the pressure tank got frozen somewhere. That happened a little later when I went to check it out. But I took a 10-inch, one of those axial muffin fans on steroids, and my wife and I cleaned out a number of items from under the sink and put the fan in there. And, it's a 240-volt fan running on 120, so it moves air, but it's not ridiculously noisy. And after about 10 minutes, all of a sudden I hear gurgling and stuff like that, and I turned on the water in the kitchen, and up she came, both the hot and the cold. Yet in the bathroom, the bathroom sink, the lines were cold enough so that they were slightly frozen. There was no flow, which worried me, because I'm the one that did the plumbing, and everything is mounted on the wall, raised maybe about an inch or so above the surface. But the thing is, when the cold will penetrate eventually. So just moving air around, helped a whole lot. But then as the pressure went down and used up everything in the pressure tank, and we didn't really have any water, you know, a couple times the next morning I would flip the circuit breaker on and off, and you didn't hear any of the whooshing of water that you would normally hear going into the pressure tank, so I immediately shut it off at that point. And the following morning, I think it was Sunday morning, I broke out my meter and checked the pressure switch to make sure that 240 volts was going down the pipe to the pump, having my wife flip the breaker on momentarily while I took a measurement. So it's like, well, so then I disconnected, I disconnected one lead and took a DC resistance measurement going down, and they measured about 7 ohms or something like that. I said, yeah, that's probably about what that motor's DC resistance probably is. So all I could do was wait, and then a little bit of time passed, temperature went up, and sun was out, and after my wife and I have a TV date on Sunday morning, and date's over, you know, and we're in the kitchen. I said, well, here goes nothing. So she opens up the door where the pressure tank is, and I get up on a stool and hit the breaker, and there it is, the whoosh sound of water going in the tanks, everything thawed out, and that was the end of that drama. Kind of stressful. Oh God, kind of stressful. That's for sure. Don't want to do that again, do ya? This is WA1HLR.
Oh. Now it makes sense. Okay, I remember you saying now that you'd lost water and it froze. I didn't know what you went through to get it back, though. W3 MMR. Well, that was pretty lucky you got it thawed out so fast, you know? That's awesome. So you just so it was... so what, do your pipes run up, like, in the kitchen? They run up, like, right up against an exterior wall? Is that why it was so cold in there?
No, they're on an interior wall. They're right underneath the kitchen sink. You'd have to see this place to understand that some of the water lines being run around to the pressure tank, and then the pressure tank to the copper, 3/4-inch copper, which is cold water distribution. I use the usual black ABS plastic pipe, and put it all together, and I figured that indoors, you see, the floor in some cases is not that well insulated. I should have, you know, that's going to be a huge pain in the ass job. So if I get the walls all around, you know, the skirting completely well insulated, that would help tremendously. I don't want to go through another situation like what I went through, what we went through. But who knows? The weather road is going to get kind of rocky with the way things are going up here. I'm W3MMR from WA1HLR.
Yeah, man, we're getting squeezed out here. There's guys below us, guys above us. I'm over here, like, turning knobs, trying to notch everything out. Yeah, you don't want to have to go through something like that again. But, I mean, like you said, I mean, the weather is getting more and more wacky. You know, we're getting less and less snow down here. But we'll see how the next few years go. Because we're going from a La Nina to an El Nino by the wintertime. So could really change things around, and there could be a lot of snow for really the entire Northeast. But well, us back to getting snow down here. It's been wild, and I mean, the summers are getting hotter. You know, last summer was kind of reminded me of when I was living in South Carolina and how hot it was down there. God, you want to talk about hot and humid and miserable. Oh my God, that place was... Tim, honest to God, there'd be some mornings I'm going to work, right? I walk out of the door around 7 o'clock, 7:30. Sun's coming up. You know, that warm, that real orange sky in the morning. You walk out the door, and honest to God, it feels like you're walking into a bathroom that has the hot water turned on and the door shut. All that steam. I mean, that's what it feels like, honestly, when you walk out of the door in the morning. And going to work, it being so humid. We had painted floors in the shop, and they would be sweating. The floors would be sweating from the moisture in the air. It was wild. Yeah, I lived down there for almost 6 years, about 5 years, and it was not a fun time for weather. And the winters were 45 degrees, 40 degrees. Sometimes it would get below 40. But I'm, not much colder than that. Lots of days in the 60s and 70s, and it would be it was definitely a whole different ball game. You don't have to worry about freezing pipes down there. W3 MMR.
Yeah, I missed it briefly. So you were in the South. Did you say in the Carolinas?
Yeah, I was in South Carolina. I lived in right outside of Charleston, South Carolina, about 15 miles northwest of Charleston, South Carolina. When my son was really young. Him and his myself and his mother. We met when we were both in the military and got married, and then we split up, divorced, and she moved back to South Carolina with her family, and I had moved down there for 5, almost 6 years, and moved back up here for work because it's weird working down there. It's not like I needed to make more money, so I came back home and moved back up here in 2016. I moved back here, and I moved down there around 2011, 2012 ish, about 2011. I moved here almost the beginning of 2017. So that's the story. Go ahead.
Wow. I thought you said Charleston. In 1979, my mother, who had been living in Pork Rock from 68 on, had a close friend that had moved to Charleston. So my mother decided, since some of her roots are from the South, decided to uproot, sell Pork Rock, and go to Charleston. So I used to visit her there, I don't know, every 2 or 3 years. Go down there in the Pinto Valdez and maybe another couple other different vehicles. And I would stay with her and get together with her friends that she moved down there to be around. And that was interesting. Yeah, I only have experience in that part of the country in the winter, as you say, the temperatures in the 40s at night. And probably 50s, 60s during the day from time to time. So, I know what it's like.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that drive in a Ford Pinto now. But really at all. That's a long drive, man. Especially from up there. Jesus. It's about 12 hours from here. I just made the drive last summer. I went down there and stayed for 4 days and brought my son back with me. He was here for about a week and then flew him back down. But and that was during the summer as well. I was fortunate. I wasn't there when it was real hot. I mean, it was 80s, it was 90s, but it wasn't like brutal. Like it was some of the days. So it was pretty. It was fun. But yeah, I got I got a whole bunch of radio projects I got to get around to. My cat just had kittens. She had 5 kittens, Tim. I got 5 little ones in the other room. They just opened their eyes today. Or last night, they started seeing them open their eyes. And I found them all good homes. I'm keeping one of them, so I'll have 3 cats now. And my dog, Hank. And I got the Yaesu 101 to modify. I got the Innovonics 222 I have to modify. I have a whole bunch of stuff to do over here, and I really need to get around to do it, and I've been procrastinating. I want to get some other rigs back on the air, my DX100, get the Viking 2 off the desk, and get the Ranger back on. I got a whole bunch of stuff here, Tim. Lots of stuff to do, and not a lot of time to do it. W3MMR.
Yowza, W3MMR, and WA1HLR. Yeah, your signal's holding up very well. Very well indeed. Hey, I want to try an antenna experiment. Oh, God. Let me bust a move on my ass here. All right. I don't know how well this is going to work out. I got to drop the carrier, flip the antenna selector. All right, Carrie, what is this like? Did my signal go up, down, stay the same?
Oh, it went down. It went down a good bit, too. At least 60. I mean, you went down a good bit.
You okay? I'll tell you when I get back. I have to drain my log.
Roger. Dodger. And I'll be here. Tim, W3MMR, standing by. Let me look at something here. Yay. Yay. Why isn't... Ah, there we go. The damn delay on the web. I was turning on the WebSCR, and the delay on it was like, I didn't think it was working. That's funny. Yeah, you keep drifting down and down and down, Tim. You're going down, down, down. I think we started off around 75. And we're down at 73 now, just about. I wonder what you're on. Maybe you mentioned it. I don't remember. I don't think I heard you say. Anyway, we'll see if you're back. W3MMR.
W3MMR. WB2JCC.
Good evening. W3MMR. What's going on?
Well, just the usual. I heard you chatting with Tim. I'm working on a computer trying to get it to bring it back to life. Didn't want you to sit here talking to yourself. What's going on with you? Hope you're having an enjoyable day.
Yeah, hey, Matt. Sorry. I was staring at these meters on the. I was adjusting something and looking at the meter on the Anon. But yeah, good evening, man. Good signal. Just waiting for Tim to get back. And good conditions this evening for sure. Sounding good, man. Coming in real good to southeastern Pennsylvania this fine Wednesday evening. I have a day off tomorrow, and I am excited about that. So what's new with you, Matty?
I am back. This is WA1HLR.
And Timmy is back.
Welcome back. And I'll turn it over to you when I am done. I heard your frozen pipe story, Tim. I was up in Maine for that weekend as well. We had tickets for a performance in Portland, and froze our butts off, but it was great. I think we woke up in the morning, it was 18 below, and I kind of enjoyed that. And this time, we did not have any frozen pipe or there you go. However, once we did have the waistline trip, and that was froze up, I should say, and that was a mess. That was very hard to get that taken care of. That was a couple of years ago. So, but in any case, Perry, I am working on an Apple AirBook that I found at the garbage dump over the weekend. I got it to the point now where it will turn on and where? I have some let me see what antenna I'm on. That's a good question. Alright, I'm on the proper antenna. I guess I have a little bit of a WR. Be careful not to push it too far. So, yeah, so I'm trying to get the computer back to life. And I got it charged up. It's took a charge. And it's a fairly new one. I think there's a problem with the hard drive, but I might be able to bring it back to life. Anyway, WA1HLR. And 3MMR from WB2JCC.
Yeah, WB2JCC. This is WA1HLR. That's Manny, correct? Matty. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. Not real strong here, but, you know, it is what it is most of the time. You're early Q5. Yeah. 8 o'clock already. I don't know how long I'm gonna hang in here. Yeah, computers. I go through spurts of interest and playing around with them and using them for music, storage and program stuff and whatnot. Wow, pardon me. Probably going to be winding down sooner than I think. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Perry, you just seem, well, obviously, you've got probably a little less than half as many miles on you than I have on me. Yeah. So, I basically, all my life have been trying to be in a position where I could be well enough off that I could just enjoy life doing mostly what my passion is, and so far, so good lately, and whatnot. But, you know, I've got other responsibilities and other things I do, and it keeps me very busy, even though I don't really work a normal job, so to say. I've been working on a Ranger that I'm selling to one of the guys, and you know, it's incorporating what I call the LITE, the LITE mods, which is trying to get the most out of the stock mod transformer, driver transformer, the tubes that are in there, but just by changing the circuitry around, and I've made a whole lot of observations. I have the thing on the air, but, you know, there's little details that need to be done, like some pilot lightage and proper electrical power cable on it, and a few other things that need to be taken care of, but basically has been working very well and whatnot. That's all I seem to have space for in here, small transmitters like the Ranger. I've got a number of them that I'm going to try and do up here and there and just sell them off. Because I think something like that is one thing to pay X amount of dollars for because it's stock and sounds like crap, or one that's completely done up in a manner where it's that much better in quality, and a lot of the reliability issues from heat and exhaustion and tired components and all that get fixed. So you have something that you could pass along. You know, that's the thing I keep wondering about is it becomes more and more apparent that the art of amateur radio doesn't seem to hold quite the interest anymore that it did to younger people. So, as I'm sure you've observed, there's a lot of us that are old farts.
There's, it's okay. I don't care. I love it. You know? And, somebody's got to carry on the torch, you know? I think we'll be fine, you know? Especially, you know, you get a lot of these new guys who are, you know, there still are people getting their licenses and stuff, and, you know, I think at some point there'll be a resurgence in, you know, vintage communications equipment, and you know, and then once they realize, oh wow, this is, get to modify stuff, because, you know, like people, like I know things are going in a very disposable way, you know, and everybody's looking for the next big thing of communication, but I don't know, it just interests the hell out of me, and, you know, sometimes I guess, or maybe I'm like, you know, putting too much into thinking that other people would enjoy it, as much as I do. But it's fun, man. And obviously I get it from my from my old man. I grew up around it. I've been around the hobby my entire life. And it's just a matter of time until the bug bit me. But I think I'm going to, I'll make one more after this, and I'm going to get going. I'm going to get in the other room and get a snack, get in front of the TV, and try to get up nice and early tomorrow and get on the air, because I haven't had a chance to get on in the morning in a while. And since, I guess, Saturday when I talked to you, Tim, about 4:30 before the MILRAD net, the military net, radio net that morning. So I'd like to get on the air tomorrow morning. And Matty, good to hear you, man. It sounded like your amplifier might have cut out there for a second, or I guess then I heard you come back talking about your antenna. I'm wondering if you were on the right one, but a little bit of QSB on your signal, but you're Q5 and sounding great down this way. Matty, excuse me, I need a drink too. WB2JCC in the group, W3MMR.
All right, thanks for the report. I think that there it goes again. Now I kick it back in, and everything's okay. No, something's going on, and I cannot figure this out. One more time. I'm not hitting it too hard. All right. Anytime now it's in tuning. This is just amazing. What the hell is going on here? All right. Well, now it has given me a very flat-looking SWR. There, let's see if that makes any difference. I have no idea what was going on. Now, and my tuner just went through this crazy tuner cycle and seems to have fixed everything. I mean, the amplifier tripped off right away when it gets too bad. But now it seems to be working okay, and I am a little light on the carrier. Let me see if I could bring that up. Not too much. All right, there we go. Now I think I am doing the best I can do. Sorry about taking vital airspace for self-indulgence. But, yeah. So, looks like I am making some progress with the computer. For the first time, it's actually showing a little picture of an apple. And I was able to find these hidden menus that they have on it. Kind of like the Flex has all these hidden menus. I have very, very little experience digging into Apple computers. My wife really likes the Apple products, and I just, at work, it's all Microsoft Windows, and that's really what I'm comfortable with from, pretty much the last 45 years. So, well, not quite that long, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm learning a little bit. Then I'm going to mess with that computer for a little while longer, and then I got to start doing some more work on the income tax, and enter some more stuff in, and want to get that done. Because I'm not sure, Tim, what you use for heat, but we had an estimate last weekend for somebody to come in with heat pumps for two reasons: for humidity control, and in the summertime, because it's gotten so much more humid up there in Maine than I ever remember, and also for the heat as another source of heat in the winter. And we just got the estimates, and it's a little bit more than we have in the bank account, but I know I can squeeze out the extra money from the taxes. So now I have incentive to get that done. The guy said that the heat pump will definitely end up saving us money on oil, And although electricity is no bargain, I pay more up in Maine for electricity than I do here in New York. And can't tell you, you know, there's just not enough sources up there of power. So it's a little expensive. Got pretty high electric bills. That was always a shock for me. All right, well, it looks like I got this thing squared away again. And I think you guys should be able to hear me okay. And, you know, am I really only running 3K widths? I could probably... thought I had a different profile. Sometimes the software seems to develop a mind of its own. All right, Perry, I'm going to turn it back to you. No, not Perry. Tim, sorry. WA1HLR. WB2JCC, and the group.
Okay, Matty, very good. WB2JCC from WA1HLR. Yeah, I'm going to make this one it for me. My wife has put some munchy food out for me, and I'm going to start getting into it. And probably wind it down. The Ranger I've been working on, I got to change the microphonium connector on it, and, you know, just a few other things, and I just don't feel like it at the moment. Tomorrow is supposed to be pissing rain. Yep. It's pissing rain. Just pissing rain. How much? Up further in the more northerly latitudes here in Maine, it's supposed to snow. How much, I'm not sure. Well, winter is not over, done, and gone. Not yet. But we just don't know. Yep. Volatile time of year. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Computers. Yep. I've never played around with Apple products. They were always considered in a world of their own, fairly high end. I know they're used a lot by the media and whatnot, and so on and so forth, but I've learned on Microsoft Windows operating systems. I like XP and I like Windows 7. I'm not at all interested in Windows 10 and God forbid Windows 11. It's getting way too top heavy, and I'm hearing all these tales about how it has its own set of spyware in it, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, the various cookies get planted in where, you know, you might visit some store website or something like that, so it keeps track of your buying habits and that kind of thing. Who the hell knows? So, trying to shut this thing off for a while. I might be back later, but then again, I might not be. Yep. You don't need a weather vane to know which way the wind blows. And we'll see you all later. W3MMR from WA1HLR.
That was weird. Something was like my relay was really loud in the amplifier. Audio. For a second. Like the first time I keyed up, I thought it was like arcing or something. I don't know what the hell that was. Anyway, now Matty, now that you're having problems, I'm having problems. I don't know what that was. That was really weird. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here before I blow something up. Timmy, great hearing you, man. Good talking with you tonight. Matty, great hearing you. Thanks for breaking in. And really good to hear you. And sounding great this evening, both of you. See, it's supposed to piss rain down here tomorrow too, I think, so we'll see how that all goes. But anyway, Matty, I'll turn it over to you to tie the ribbons on it. And I'm going to go that away. I'm getting hungry. WB2JCC with WA1HLR signed. This is W3MMR. And Matty went that away too. Catch you guys later.
Later.